I'm very pleased to be interviewing Ed DeNicola on the left and John Morse on the right, who have a joint consultancy through Byron Media. Thank you both for coming here today. I'd like to first talk to you each about your backgrounds, and then I'd like to go into more detail about the projects you're working on in your consultancies. So Ed, tell us a little bit about your background. How did you get to where you are today?
I started out at A&E Cable Network and worked there for a couple of years, and I wanted to get into advertising sales. But at the time I thought I needed to know more about the numbers, so I got a job at Nielsen. But I only thought I'd be at Nielsen for about 2 years, and 20 years later, here I am. So I spent the majority of my time at Nielsen in a number of different roles, most of them in the cable television space. And lastly, working for Digital Plus, which has become to be called Advanced TV, working with set-top box data, which has been fantastic.
So in terms of what Nielsen was working on with set-top box data and your projects, can you give us just a little detail about what you did there for Nielsen?
Sure. I was responsible for helping them to direct the product line for Charter LA set-top box data. And the other part of my role was to help the marketing people go out and sell the product. I also wrote the marketing plan for their Charter LA set-top box service. And the third part of my role was to help with data acquisitions, talking to the satellite companies. And Nielsen was great. They had fantastic people working on set-top box information down in Florida. Unfortunately, they hadn't done a larger deal with for data acquisition, so we were working with just data from LA. However, you know, we did the best with what we had, and we were learning a great deal. And I think when Nielsen does get a larger data set, that they're going to hit the ground running, and they're going to have a good product.
So John, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Once upon a time, I came out of academia. I was a communications, sociology professor running a research supply house in the State University of New York. And then I jumped into ABC and helped them develop arts and entertainment, ESPN, and Lifetime in the 80s. Went on to head a number of research departments, and for the last 20 years I've had my own consulting business. Work with probably 20 different corporations, most recently working extensively with set-top box data and also internet data. So it's been a glorious move into a variety of digital worlds.
So you were there in the early days of cable, and you also have background in set-top box data and online. Do you see relationships between these three areas?
They've certainly evolved very separately. They're all emerging as combined, and I would say one of the major changes in the past 5 to 10 years for Americans has been the adoption of a digital lifestyle, combining wireless and internet as well as a digital set-top box. In terms of audience research, the digitization has had a profound impact in terms of sample sizes and our ability to move towards integrating all the different screens that we watch.
How would you say the research has evolved to measure all these different platforms?
It's been in fits and starts. It's kind of a Wild West zone right now in terms of a lot of companies jumping in, even in the past couple of years. It's like you go on vacation for a couple of weeks, you come back and you scratch your head and say, I wonder if I missed any major news bulletins in terms of a new service being created, or a company that's out there, that's been there for a long time, doing something new in this space. So it's rapidly evolving and very confusing.